Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 4, Cheese Cricket.
Coming up next on Radio 4, a brand new comedy quiz.
Oh! Sorry, Elga, emergency! Oh, God, that was a close one. Oh dear, was that your tail? I think we deserve a restorative snack and gargle.
Monday. I imagine somewhere in the vaults of the National Health Service can be found statistics for injuries sustained in the kitchen as a result of the 6:30 dash to the wireless to turn it off. These figures are no doubt too horrifying to publish and would knock knife crime, for example, into a cocked hat. One wonders whose bright idea it was that while we chop our onions or prepare our chicken marinade, the British public craves nothing so much as light-hearted panel games featuring the braying of rebarbative boys trying to outdo each other in the triviality of their lame observations. Have you ever noticed, Elgar, that you never seem to get the letter R in this spaghetti? Still, reduced to 11p down from 15 because of the big dent, one's hardly entitled to an attitude of righteous indignation. Save that for the BBC message boards. Let's see what sound common sense, all one word, has to say for him or herself. Is anyone else listening to this puerile drivel? Waterboarding's too good for whoever commissioned this piece of... That's very good. Couldn't agree more, sound common sense. The opening bars of the sickeningly jaunty signature tune were the unmistakable prelude for 30 minutes of asininity of the first water. Keep up the good work, sound common sense. You have the wholehearted support of Pro Bono Publico. And send. I find that now the 12-year-olds have taken control of all other media outlets, the message board is one of the few remaining democratic forms of expression available to the common man.
Pro bono what, you call yourself?
Publico. It's Latin.
Oh, very democratic. We all understand that, don't we?
Too clever for its own good. Wolverine, that's my handle.
Oh, that's you, is it, Stan?
You don't go in for all this malarkey as well, do you?
He does, Pearl, and what's more, he's quite forthright in his views.
I do my bit. I'm not saying it was just me that got Arlene Phillips sacked from Strictly, but I like to think I played my part.
Oh, Stan, that's very ageist. She's younger than you are.
Anyway, didn't they close that particular thread down?
They did. Muzzled yet again, just for speaking my mind. Political correctness gone mad.
So it's not that marvellous a means of expression then, is it?
I think you're better off writing to the papers. That's what I do when I feel strongly about something, like newsreaders not wearing ties.
Well, I'm sure that'll come as a relief to manufacturers of green ballpoint pens, Olive, but...
No, I always use a fountain pen. I think that if you're going to invite yourself into people's homes and then expect them to read your views, you should do it in your very best handwriting.
But you can't cuss like you can on message boards.
Well, I think the message I'd like you all to take from this writing class tonight is don't be afraid to make your voice heard via the new technology. Who knows, we could be the Wat Tylers of the IT generation.
He's lost me again. What? Who?
Tyler. He led the Peasants' Revolt 729 years ago last week. I got that out of the Hearts and Bucks Notable Anniversaries column. Lady Isabel Barnett would have been 92 on Thursday. See? I wouldn't have known all that if it hadn't been for the local paper.
Or being able to send off for a free wormery. You have to pay the postage, mind, but it's still a bargain.
I think these girls are stuck in the past. Never mind. You've got the right idea.
Thank you, Wolverine.
I mean, who else is going to pay attention to anything you've got to say?
Now, listen, Ping. I emailed you the other day about becoming writer-in-residence at the Savoy Hotel.
Oh, that must have been brilliant, Ed. Now, I've got to talk to you about something.
Good, but if you could just let them know I'm free for lunch most days, or if they want to give me dinner, I can catch a late train home.
Ed.
I don't want time to grill shuts these days, or even if they still do, there's very good Barnsley chops.
Ed, shut up. You are going to be in a pilot for a fantastic new panel game.
No, I'm not.
Is the wrong answer.
No, it isn't.
I say pilot, it's more of a dry run to see if it works. But it's light-hearted, yeah, and you'll get paid and you can wear your own clothes because it's for radio, because radio's like the new telly. It's a topical quiz with a tasty twist, according to the acting head of ideas.
Ping, I spend my life trying to avoid these things. If I'm to make a public spectacle of myself, I'd sooner stand on the empty plinth in Trafalgar Square and shout.
That's how they got 2 of the other panellists. Thing is, it's really, really hard at the moment to get anyone good because they're all at Hay or Latitude and then they'll be off to Edinburgh.
Which is how you got down to me, I imagine.
2 points! So it's going to be you and one of the agency's other clients, Alice Brown, stand-up, who's actually really brilliant.
Oh, yes, I expect she's got all sorts of original things to say about men, like how they can't commit or talk about their feelings, they watch too much sport.
See, I knew you'd get on.
Well, it's not going to happen, Ping, because we won't be sitting in the same recording studio or disused abattoir or yurt or wherever they do these things nowadays.
Broadcasting house. Just meet the producer. You know him, Horatio.
Never heard of him.
Yes, you have. You hit him once.
No, you need to be a lot more specific than that. Tuesday. My strong antipathy to the institution of the BBC quiz was well-founded and was, as they say on Thought for the Day, personal and not in a good way. Had you happened to be sitting in front of your 8-inch screen one tea time in the early 60s, possibly enjoying a slice of toasted nimble and Shipham's paste, you would have been enthralled by a closely fought edition of television top of the form. A certain jug-eared 10-year-old was on the point of answering 5 in a row and getting a bonus mark for his school when the BBC, in its wisdom, saw fit to abandon the programme in favour of live coverage of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Relations between myself and the corporation have not improved since.
Ed, hi.
Hello, Horatio. Nor was the possibility of détente any closer when, in response to Ping's cajoling, I agreed to meet the acting head of ideas. Italian-suited and with a personal assistant to pour his coffee these days, as opposed to the turned-up jeans and T-shirt with a monkey on the front Horatio wore when he forced me to do 48 drafts of my eventually unproduced Holby City script.
So, fantastic. Good. Have any trouble getting here?
Well, the north face of Everest was impassable, so I had to use the south route.
Excellent.
Then when I finally got to Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport was closed, so I had to cycle all the way here from Orly. Aside from that, plain sailing.
Wow, unreal.
Yes, actually.
So, coffee, tea, water?
Coffee, please. Oh, and could I have a drop of milk in there, please, my dear?
Sure. Is that enough?
Thank you. And I'll take these, if I may.
All right.
The stirrers are for my cat to play with. He's a little under the weather right now. And the sugar lumps are for myself.
Cool. Excellent. So, panellists on my left, Ed Reardon, Alice Brown.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Alice. I thought you were...
Not good looking enough to be in a quiz show.
No, not at all.
You know what they say, great faces for radio. Right. OK, excellent.
What is?
Cheese cricket. Let's focus. Here's the thing. Some of our flagship quiztainment losing a bit of lustre. Obviously, they can't go on forever. Well, they can, but I think they're skewing old. So, what cheese cricket is about is skewing young. Here's the demographic pie chart. See?
You sure that's not a demographic brie?
No, it's a pie chart.
A cheese pie chart?
Or a flan, possibly.
Yeah, and the red bit, that could be the tomato in the flan.
Cooking, guys, yeah, but save it for the show, yeah? So, different cheese nationalities playing a test match against each other. It's edgy, it's topical, with a cricket scoring system and a fondue fork-off in the event of a tie.
You're not worried about it skewing incomprehensible?
And tell me, what's my role to be here? Because if anything, I'm skewing winter fuel allowance.
I want you to channel rude in the pilot. Very hot with the demographic I'm after hitting. Yeah. The fascists upstairs, they didn't want you, because you're on some kind of BBC blacklist.
Only one? Or does that include the digital channels as well?
But I insisted, and I tend to get my way right now. Hey, maybe there'll come a time when I mess up and they can sack me, but that doesn't look like happening anytime soon. Thing with me is, I'm an arrogant sod.
Oh, I remember why I hit you now.
So what about the other panellists? Is it 2 ugly boys, as usual?
We're trying to get Will Zitz and Tom Zack, but they're really busy right now. Their website's just crashed, actually. In fact, I better check their tweet, see if it's back up.
Yes, you had, because not checking their tweet might be construed as messing up. So any idea who might be chairing this brains trust de nos jours?
Going to be a marquee name, obviously. Now, I need to go and shoot a few hoops, so there are your cheese cricket Bibles. Just go and get your heads around the format, yeah? It's pretty simple. Have to say, it works like absolute clockwork. As it should, because we spent quite a few quids on this.
This must explain why there's so little left over to pay me. Not that I've agreed to do this yet.
Yeah, £80. Still, we might get to eat some of the props.
80? So it's true what they say about the gender bias. They're offering me 85. Don't think I've ever met anyone who's cheaper than me.
I've never met anyone who's actually on a blacklist. All the ones who claim to be are just covering up for not getting hired because they're rubbish. Actually, I could work that up into a sort of, hey, have you ever noticed bit.
Have you noticed that bottle of brandy on the shelf?
Oh, better not. I've got to work this afternoon.
Me too. Oh, anyway, it's a present from the cast of Round Britain Quiz. They're bound to work out who's stolen it. And I've got to get to Euston Station.
Oh, that's where I'm going.
Really? Where to?
Platforms 1 to 4. I clean out the trains.
If you'd like to hold Elgar gently on the table, we'll have a look at him.
It's all right, it's all right. I think I may have trodden on his tail rather hard.
Oh, OK.
Well, it's not really. That's why we're here.
Oh, OK. So how did it happen?
Actually, I was running across the kitchen to turn off a comedy quiz.
Yeah? That's the third radio-related injury this week. I had to piece together a tortoise this morning. Quite tricky, actually. Yeah. There's a nasty bruise there. We'll give him some anti-inflammatories to reduce the swelling.
Thank you. Dear, I feel very bad about this.
Yeah, maybe you should have given the show more of a chance. There are some quite good ones on at the moment.
Are there?
Yeah. I was in the audience for one of those, what do you call them, pilots. They send a load of free tickets to the practice. It was about what animals like to eat. Pretty funny, actually. Called Vet Your Appetite.
As a matter of fact, I've been asked to appear in one of these farragos myself. Cheese cricket.
Ah, OK. Sounds good.
You think so? I'm not sure whether to do it or not. Pros and cons on both sides.
£85.
Well, yes. How did you know that?
That's the fee for the consultation.
Oh, OK. Yes, hello, Ping. I've been giving cheese cricket some thought.
Yeah, fine if you don't want to do it. Pretty rubbish idea anyway. Do you want me to try the Savoy again? They weren't answering the phones last time.
Yes, but I think I'll give cheese cricket a try.
Oh, cool.
Because, as you said before, you thought I was going to turn it down. It could be the new rock and roll, or indeed the new Roquefort and Granary roll.
Yeah, they do provide you with jokes before the show, Ed. You don't need to give yourself a heart attack. So, the recording's next Wednesday at a horse hospital in Wandsworth.
I imagined it would be.
It's only the best venue south of the river, Ed. It's where we are clang met.
Oh, I'll look out for the blue plaque. Any other directions?
I'll email you and Alice the bus map because it's nowhere near a tube. Sorry I can't be in the audience, but I lucked out in the ballot for Glyndebourne. Yay!
Wednesday. Ping's revelation that she had a prior engagement at only the second best venue south of the river came as something of a relief. The fewer people in my immediate circle who will be there to witness my surrender to financial necessity, the better. Nevertheless, as a professional, I feel bound to discharge my duties as panellist with some degree of competence. Hence my week-long immersion in Berkhamsted Library's CD section, infuriatingly labelled Much-Loved Programmes, which are, I notice, even more infuriatingly, much borrowed. Oh, that's the end of Series 8. Well, seems to have done the trick with your tail, Elgar. Moronic laughter, the best medicine. After all that good-natured warmth, I think I need a cold shower. Or the next best thing, the message boards. Let's have a look. Wolverine's on the loose again, scenting prey. What is it this time, Stan? Subject under discussion, women on television. Now science has proven their brains are smaller, why not pay them less? Anyway, the place for a woman is stretched out on the black silk sheets of my bachelor pad. Oh, it's like being in the room with him. I don't think pro bono publico should allow that to pass unchallenged. Methinks, yes, I know, Elgar, but there's a requirement to employ clichés on a message board. I shall probably say albeit in a moment. Methinks Wolverine doth protest his youth too much. He sounds suspiciously like a home county's pensioner with a wishing well in his front garden, whose bachelor pad is equipped with a stair lift. No, a leopard skin stair lift. Right, homework. The Cheese Cricket Bible. Gospel according to Horatio. In the event of one team being more than 5 cheese runs ahead, they may... No, I'm trying to do it without the book. They may invite their opponents to now? What is it? Is it follow on?
No, in that case you're out, leg before biscuits.
Of course, LBB. Cheers.
Which prompts a quick-fire improv round about politicians with funny names.
Oh dear, improvisation. Not my generation's strong suit, Alice.
It's okay, they give us the script for that bit. It's the topical rounds that scare me. You know, it gets all boysy and competitive. You're not going to be like that with me, are you?
No danger of that, and nor do I propose to banter.
Great. Would you like a Tor Valley cheddar sandwich?
No, I'd like to go round the wicket for a bonus leg bye, please, Mr. Marquis named Chairman.
No, Ed, this is me offering you some food. They're from one of the trains I've just cleaned, but they haven't been opened.
Really?
Yeah, they've put me on the pendolinos, the ones that tilt. Makes half the passengers seasick, but you can live for a week on what they leave on the lunchtime train from Manchester.
Now, that's worth knowing, because some of them stop at Berkhamsted.
I've got Tor Valley ham and mustard, Tor Valley turkey, and Tor Valley roasted vegetables and hummus.
Where exactly is this Vale of Bounty? Why do you only ever get their product in sandwiches and not restaurants? You never see Tor Valley bourguignon, anything pan-fried from the Tor Valley.
I don't know. It's a nice riff, though. I'm sorry, Ed. I've really got to go to the lab again. Would you like some more crisps?
I think we should probably be getting down to the horse hospital.
OK, but put all those back in the bag. We'll have them on the bus.
Never having been afflicted with stage fright, I was quite taken aback by the symptoms displayed by Alice, my fellow panellist, whose obsessive eating combined with nerves led to her trying to board the bus using a Tor Valley turkey slice instead of her Oyster card. To me, cheese cricket merely represented the chance to pay my vet's bill, whereas it seemed to have assumed life and death importance, not only to Alice, but also to Messrs. Zitz and Zack on the other team. The emerging young comic titans were not, however, prepared to emerge from the studio toilets where they were throwing up. This mass hysteria, worthy of the first night of Stravinsky's Rite of Spring in Paris in 1913, even affected cheese cricket's producer, who appears to have been doing something else altogether in the lavatory.
Woo! I love this town.
Wandsworth, you mean?
Yeah, let's go, buddy. Let's do the show right here.
Yes, I think that'd be a jolly good idea, seeing as we've come so far. It'd be a shame to disappoint devotees of both cricket and cheese.
Oh, this is going to look so great on my appraisal.
At which country house hotel will that take place at the licence payer's expense?
Save it for the show, Ed.
Horatio, the show is about 5 minutes away. I imagine our marquee host is making his way to the wicket, so might it not be an idea to at least coax Alice and the two ugly boys out of their cubicles?
You know what? Such a good feeling about this. Big guy! Where are you, buddy? Yeah? Great, when are you doing it? What? No, tonight you're chairing cheese cricket. Yeah, you are. You got to be here. Yeah, well, I've got some news for you, dude. You are never going to work in any of my not-for-broadcast pilots ever again. And forget the five-a-side team on Sunday. And the band. You are so dropped.
I have signed a contract for this programme, so I will get paid anyway, won't I, Horatio?
And my Facebook page. Ed, you're going to have to be the chairman.
What? What about Alice? I'm on her team.
We'll make it women's cricket versus men's, change it around when the show gets picked up. Yeah, you know what? In the pilot of Just a Minute, they actually allowed both deviation and repetition. Legendary.
And I thought the discovery of penicillin was significant.
So, here's your chairman's script.
Oh. Good evening and welcome to Cheese Cricket. Unless you're a chav, in which case you'll be... No, I don't think I'll be needing that. But I will take advantage of this.
Easy on the Scotch, Ed. We are like professionals.
Which means the scores at the end of that round are Alice 8 and Will Zitz and whatever the other one's called.
Tom Zack.
Quiet, please. Ugly Boys team, I'm delighted to report no points at all. That apparently pointless noise signifies the luncheon interval, where correct answers receive double points. So, Alice, your cheeses are Old Trafford and Headingley. Who's opening the batting?
Lancashire and Wensleydale?
Correct. 2 points. And an extra one for not wearing a stupid trilby hat like Tom Zitz.
Tom Zack.
So, that's 3 points, doubled up to make 6 to Alice. Yes, Ugly Boy 1.
Have you ever noticed, right, about people from the north?
No, I haven't. That's half a point lost for time wasting.
Hey, that's not fair.
And that's cost you another point for questioning the cheese umpire's decision. And another because, I just can't stand the sight of you, either of you, really. So that's 2, making 3.5 points. Doubled up, that adds to -7. A very sticky wicket indeed. Right. Your question, ugly boys, for 2 rounds. What kind of cheese is associated with Lewis Carroll's cat?
Dunno. But have you ever wondered what David Cameron's cat would do if it entered the Paralympics?
You've absolutely no idea, have you? I mean, even a cretin would know the answer to that. Did you actually go to school? Alice, can you put us out of our misery?
Is it Cheshire?
Indeed it is. And that's your 50 partnership.
Do you think Cheshire's where the Tor Valley is?
Well, I don't know. Could well be.
But have you ever noticed, you get Tor Valley stuff like cheese and ham in really expensive sandwiches, but you never see it in restaurants?
No, indeed. It's a very original observation.
Unless they were like Michelin-starred restaurants, they'd probably have like Tor Valley parking.
I had a dream about cheese, only it was like a zombie cheese, and it was taking part in the Paralympics.
Oh, shut up and go and stand in the corner, will you? Thursday. Far from being the most humiliating way of earning £85 since I wore a sandwich board saying full leg wax this way one Christmas in Berkhamsted High Street, it's no exaggeration to say that I was the hit of the horse hospital. I thought perhaps the pre-show Jamesons in the green room might have made me a little too forthright in my dealings with the cheese cricket panel, but from the audience's point of view, it seemed that I couldn't skew rude enough. Moreover, Horatio, the mightily relieved producer, not only provided me with a car home, but hinted that a new and late-flowering career as a quiz inquisitor beckoned. That is, once he'd risen from the floor where he'd assumed the I'm not worthy position, something I'd always found intensely irritating when seeing it performed at a football match or the last night of the proms, but which was now strangely satisfying. The poacher, it appeared, was about to turn gamekeeper, with a complimentary fruit basket in his dressing room. Ooh, Elgar, it's nearly time for Mock the Week on Dave. 5 hours of it. Better check out the competition. Where are you going? Time for a couple of minutes on the message board, I think. It's all too easy for the likes of Wolverine to criticise BBC programme makers when, in pro bono publico's humble opinion, they do a very difficult job under often trying circumstances. I was fortunate enough to be present at the recording of one of the funniest comedy shows in recent years. Chaired by Ed Reardon, clearly the new kid on the Quiztainment block, the carpers and the naysayers would do well to look out for cheese cricket in the autumn schedules. Hello, yes. Ping! Yes, I'm not surprised Felix wants to see me. And my next question is, Connaught or the Ritz? Hello, both.
This is absolutely my all-time favourite bit ever.
Oh, shut up and go and stand in the corner, will you? Go on, off you go in your big belt and your pipe cleaner legs. Into the corner. Try and improv your way out of that.
Very, very, very funny indeed. Turn the cassette, or whatever you call it, off, Ping, please.
Oh, Ed, that was so brilliant. You're a natural.
Thank you. Yes, glad you liked it. I've got a few comments about the final cut, but on the whole, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yes, and we have a few comments too.
Very well, fire away.
I've just been playing golf with Jumbo Mitchell-Beecham.
Oh, foursome, how civilised.
No, he runs the management company for Will Zitz and Tom Zack, along with some of our other fastest rising stand-ups, the brightest and the best, it's fair to say.
So he's a sort of Fagin of the footlights, in other words.
Yes.
Thing is, Ed, Will and Tom really weren't happy with things you said and the way you treated them.
Well, the audience seemed to like it.
Yes, well, indeed, they were very, very good quips. I especially liked the effluvia of the Polytechnic system inflicting their growing pains on us.
Oh, so funny.
And very true, too. But the BBC has it in mind to fast-track these young men as the new double act to rival Flanagan and Allen. Do I mean that, Ping?
Ant and Dec, Felix. And now they're threatening never to work for the Beeb again.
Yes, I've tried that several times, with limited success, as I recall.
What really hacked them off was how you kept favouring Alice Brown and giving her all the points.
But there was just one of her. At least you took the trouble to answer the question instead of trying to make adolescent boy jokes all the time.
Exactly. It was sexist.
Ed.
But she's your client.
Yes, nevertheless, bearing in mind the importance to the agency of keeping in good odour with the corporation, you're fired, Ed. Now, do you have a pen?
Why?
I've drafted this letter of apology for you to sign, 2 copies, one for Will Zitz and one for Tom Zack.
Well, I'm not sure they'll understand this. Some of the sentences are punctuated. I've never used this many exclamation marks in my life. And contrite spelt with a C and without the unsmiley face.
Just sign it, Ed. It's only for the lawyers.
And besides, something else is bound to crop up for a man of your undoubted literary talents. Ping, did you call Savoy?
What about me becoming writer-in-residence?
No, of course not. About me giving lunch to Jumbo to make up for all the trouble you've caused. Really, Ed, you do cost the agency an awful lot of money.
Hi, Ed. What do you want to see me about?
I thought it was you that called me in, Horatio.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Just wanted to say soz.
I take it that's Twitter for sorry.
Yeah.
Well, not to worry. As they say about panel games, there'll be another one along in half an hour.
Well, you say that, but not every idea's as killer as cheese cricket.
Well, now then. I've been developing something. Lowest common denominator.
Yeah, right demographic. What's it called?
Well, that's it. That's the title. Points for the most ignorant answer. Maybe some corporal punishment, not sure. It's completely different from cheese cricket, but it keeps the strongest element, which is me being rude to the panellists, the Ed Reardon brand, if you like.
Mm-hmm. Thing is, Ed Reardon's not that popular around here right now.
Well, the audience at the horse hospital seem to like me not a little.
Were they all your mates too?
What do you mean?
Well, there's been a complaint. Apparently you've been plugging your own show under a pseudonym on the BBC message board. One of the funniest comedy shows in years.
I'd have thought you might be quite pleased by an encomium like that.
No more Latin, Ed, or should I call you pro bono publico?
Wolverine.
Hey, look, I feel crap about this too, but blame the fascists upstairs. It's like a total pandemic of corruption phobia in this place.
So I'm back on the blacklist.
Just for another 10 years. And we'll be needing those post-it notes you just put in your pocket while I was tweeting.
Look, lowest common denominator doesn't have to have me in the chair. You could pay me for the format rights and get that Irishman who does them all. What's his name? Dora Bryan, whatever he's called.
And the BBC tea stirrers you took home the other day. It's okay. I'll send a car for them.
Right.
Excellent.
Ed Reardon's Week starred Christopher Douglas, Stephanie Cole, John Fortune, Rita May, Barunka O'Shaughnessy, Tom Price, Rhys Rusbach, Dan Tetzel, Katie Wicks and Geoffrey Whitehead. It was written by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. The producer was Dawn Ellis.